Hello, everybody. Hello, community. Stephanie here with another day of yoga. Apologies for the technical difficulties yesterday. We're going to be doing a couple of similar postures that we did yesterday in this practice today. So you'll see some things that you might have seen yesterday come up today. And if you're here joining me, I'd love to say hi and see who's here. So we're going to continue talking about mobility, specifically in the lats, okay, so side of the ribs here, and how that relates to kind of mobility and flexibility in the front part of your body. We have the posterior chain backside, which is what we usually focus. We can kind of open up this whole chain, so not only we feel that we can get overhead, but when we squat, we feel a little bit more upright and all that stuff. There's a lot of similar things. And yeah, anytime you need to take a break, just come down into child's pose or sit on the shins or just take a break because it feels good. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so on your mat, let's sit on and just close the eyes. We're going to spend a few moments here finding our breath, finding that smooth inhale and exhale through the nose. And one of the reasons we start with it is that the breath is the foundation of all of the movement we're going to do today. So we move with the breath. So anytime you're feeling like the breath feels stuck or stiff or shallow, your movement is probably going to reflect that. So we want to find a really long, smooth inhale and exhale through the nose so that our movement can be smooth. Okay? Continue to take a few more rounds of breath through the nose here. Try to fill up the lungs and the upper chest a little bit more. So you'll feel your ribs expand. You'll feel the upper chest expand. And then on the exhale, feel everything just kind of soften back into a neutral position. Inhale from the pit of the belly all the way up to the top of the head. And exhaling from the top of the head all the way back down to the pit. And from here, we talked about this yesterday, we're going to cultivate what's called the Ujjayi pranayama, or in English, ocean sounding breath. Okay? We're going to constrict the back of the throat, kind of like we're fogging up a window, so the feel and you can hear. Okay? So let's inhale together through the nose. Find that constriction in the back of the throat. Exhale, let that breath wash over the throat. Inhale. Exhale to create that ocean sound. One more, inhale. And exhale. On this small little space on your mat, okay? Oh, yes, she wants to come outside. All right, let's take our left fingertips and place them on the floor next to you. Inhale, right arm up. And then exhale, lean over to the left. And then shift those hips a little bit to the right. So we're going to open up the lats. And since everything is connected, you might also feel a little bit of stretch in those obliques. Okay? Try to pull that right arm back towards your ear. To the right. Good. Shift those hips to the left. Inhale. Bring yourself back up. All right, now we're going to come into child's pose. So separate your knees. Keep your toes touching. Reach your arms out in front. So we'll start in this neutral child's pose position. On your exhale, walk the hands over to the left. Place your right palm on top of the left hand. Exhale to press the chest down and reach your right hip back. Again, you're going to feel a nice stretch through the lats, but then also into those obliques and maybe in the outer hip as well. Inhale, walk the hands through center. And then exhale over to the other side. Okay, so right palm down, left hand on top of the palm. Exhale to drop the chest down and reach your left hip back. Get really long through this whole left side. Inhale, walk the hands back through center. And then let's come to the hands and knees. Okay, we're just with those knees. Let's walk the hands out in front. Palms are down. On the exhale, you're going to draw the chest down towards the mat. Keep the palms where they are. All right, inhale. Come back to those hands and knees. All right, downward facing dog. Hands, shoulders distance, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back. So just a couple breaths here. Let's pedal out those feet. Go side to side. You can wiggle the hips. Anything that feels good here. All right, let's focus on that lat mobility. So we're going to find a still downward facing dog. So take the triceps and try to roll them to face your toes. Now with that external rotation in the shoulders, press through the palms and then drop your chest a little more towards the toes as you let the hips come up. So in our downward facing dog, we're trying to get as long through the whole body as possible. All right, inhale, come forward to plank. Keep those elbows flat. Untuck the toes. Roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift the chest, a little cobra here. And then exhale, bring the chest down. Let's do that again. Inhale, cobra, long neck. Chest moves forward and up, palms pressing into the mat. And exhale, release. We're going to go all the way to up dog. Shoulders again down the back. Inhale, press into the palms, try to straighten the arms, open the chest. All right, finding a little bit more fluid movement here. Inhale, forwards plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, scoop the chest forward and up, cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, on your inhale, walk the hands back towards the toes. And come into ragdoll. So soft bend in the knees, grab opposite elbows. And just let the torso hang. Sway side to side. So the movement that we just did, that flow we just did, is called vinyasa. Okay, the sun salutation includes a little bit more. Okay, we're going to go through 3 of them. So inhale, come on to the tippy toes, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees. Let's walk or hop the feet to the top of the mat. Feet together, hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale to rise all the way up. And then exhale, let's dive it down. Hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Let's step to plank. Lower down to the belly, elbows in. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, let's do that again. Inhale, high under the tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop the feet. Top of the mat, hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, dive it down. Hands on the shins, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. This time, walk or hop the feet back into that top of the push-up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Okay, let's go one more time. Full version. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, dive down. Hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or hop the feet. Top of the push-up, lower down to the belly. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Toes pressing the chest. Open. Armpits are open. All right, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps forward between the hands. Bring your back knee down. Untuck your toes, and then inhale, arms reach up. Good. So allow the hips to soften. So we're now kind of going to target both hip flexors and lats here. Again, we have to think about not only stretching parts of the body, but all of the pieces that are connected for things like, front body, anterior chain flexibility. Okay, so we're going to grab our left elbow. Inhale to lengthen the spine, get a little taller, and then exhale, lean over to the right. And as you lean to the right, if you have a little more space, start to lift the chest up. And breathe. Your back toes. I want you strong legs here, strong core, and on an inhale, you're going to straighten your back leg into a high lunge. Okay, drive it down into that front heel. Hug the ribs in, shorten the space between the belly button and the sternum. All right, so that there's a difference between this and what we're going to do now, which is open up into what's kind of a back bend. Okay? So let's get the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward between the hands, bring it back down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, arms up. Allow the hips to just kind of soften and sink towards the floor. Grab your right. Breathe through the nose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Strengthen the core. Strengthen that front leg. Tuck your back toes, and on your inhale, straighten the leg, come into that high lunge. So to start, we're going to close the gap between the sternum and the belly button. Hollow out that belly so that you can feel the difference between here and now we're going to open up. So inhale, you're going to lift and lengthen the spine, gaze up. Breathe. Exhale, hands come down. Step to plank. Lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, come high under the tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop the feet, top of the mat, feet together, hands on the shins. Exhale, dive down. Hands on the shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. We're going to add on here, bend the knees, chair pose. Hips low, arms up. Okay, so you're going to, again, close that space, sternum and belly button. Okay. Arms are now alongside the ears. So here's where some lat mobility comes into play. If we have tight lats, then those arms are going to be kind of more out in front than in line with the ears. So really try hard to pull those arms back, sit back. All right, you're going to take your hands down, place them on the hips. You're going to take your left knee into your chest. So we're balancing on that right leg. And on your exhale, you're going to step back into a high lunge. Good. All right, from here, allow those hips to come down. We're going to keep our hands on our hips, shoulders away from the ears, ribs firm. From here, we're going to make our way into warrior three. So I want you to start grounding down into the front heel. On your exhale, you're going to lean forward a little bit. Okay. You're going to start hopping your back foot up a little bit. And on your next inhale, lift your left leg. Use the hands on the hips to help square those hips down, very similar to those RDLs we usually see. Keep lifting from that inner left thigh. Next exhale, hands come down to the floor, standing split. Okay? So you can have a soft bend in that standing knee, trying to really lift that left leg up high. On your exhale, let's step to plank. Elbows in, lower down to the belly. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, inhale, come high onto the tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop the feet. Top of the mat, hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, right back down. Hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, chair pose, hips low. Inhale, arms reach up. Again, pull those arms back by the ears, sit back and down into those heels and hips. All right, bring your hands to your hips. On your inhale, right knee to your chest. With the breath and with inhale, lift that right leg up. Keep lifting the inner right thigh, squaring those hips. Next exhale, hands down, standing split. Soft bend in that standing leg, and lift that right leg up a little higher. All right, next exhale, step to plank. Lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right. Inhale, forward to plank. We're going to add a little bit of strength here. So bring your feet together. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder. And you're going to roll to the outer edge of that left foot. Right arm goes up. So we're holding side plank. And you're going to take that right foot and place the inner edge of the right foot down onto the mat right in front of your left toes. So the toes are lined up, heel to toe. You're going to take your left knee on your inhale and bring it into your chest. Exhale, replace. Inhale, left knee to your chest. Exhale, replace. 2 more. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, replace. 1 more. Inhale, knee in. Keep that left leg up. Inhale, 3-legged plank. Left leg is lifted. Inhale, up and back. Last one. Exhale. Good. Hold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Let's do that on the other side. Bring the feet together. Inhale, forward to plank. Inhale, replace. 2 more. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Hold here. And forward. Inhale, extend. Last one. Knee to nose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, up. Exhale, goes back. All right, let's come down into child's pose. Sit down on those heels, let the forehead come down. You can also make like a little like stacked fist, and then bring your head down. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop the feet. Hop the mat. So this is going to kind of put together some elements we've seen, especially for the hip flexibility. Okay? So we're going to start by standing on the left, so that even though, say, in a squat, we're mostly thinking about our heels, we have good purchase on the floor with that entire foot. Okay? So I want you to separate your toes a little bit, find a really good balance on that foot. Hands on the hips. Inhale. Bring your right knee to your chest. All right, from here, you're gonna take this right foot, place it over and above that left knee. Take your hip crease, you're gonna sit back with your hips, and then down a little bit. Hands stay on the hips. We're just looking for just a minor glute stretch here, really more focusing on balance. Breathe, finding that firm core. And that focused breath will help you stay balanced. Inhale, bring your right knee back to your chest. And now go ahead and grab the top of your right foot. Bring your knees together. Take your front ribs and hug them down like we've been doing. And then from here, you should feel a nice little stretch in the quad, even up into the hip flexors, quads. All right, now, you're going to take this right hand. For most of you, it's on the top of the foot. You're going to transition the hand so the thumb is facing up and the palm is facing to the right. You're going to come into dancer. We're still pointing everything forward, so the shoulders are forward, hips are forward. Inhale, reach the left arm in front, and then exhale, push your right foot into your hand as you lift your right leg up. You're going to start to drop the chest down a little bit as long as that foot is lifted. Pulling your right shoulder back, your left shoulder back. Inhale. Bring your knee to your chest, arms reach up. And exhale, bring your right foot back down. Shake out the left. It's burning. Inhale, left knee up. Focus on that breath. Take your left foot over and above your right knee. Hip crease. Push back, stick your butt out, and then just drop down into that standing knee a little bit more. Just a small glute stretch here. We'll get into pigeon in just a couple poses, so this is just kind of prep for that. Inhale. Woo. Go ahead and stand back up, bring your left knee back to your chest. All right, you're gonna take your left hand, grab the top of your left foot. Bring the knees together. Take the tailbone, draw it down. Good. And then pull that left heel in. That stretch in the front of the thigh and then the hip flexors. Inhale. Push into that left palm. Keep the chest up as you press your left foot up. You're drawing your right shoulder back. Whoa. And then move on. Breathe. All right, inhale, reach the arms up, left knee to your chest. And exhale, release everything down. Shake it out. All right, come back to the top of your mat. Feet together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, fold. Hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Let's step to plank. Lower down. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale. Yep. All right. So for those of you that tried to practice yesterday with the video quality being low, or place your right foot on the floor behind you. Left leg stays straight. Lift the hips and then reach your right arm overhead. So keep extending the hips up, press into the left palm. All right, inhale to come back to that 3-leg down dog. Exhale, set the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Bring your left knee down on top of the toes. All right, here's where we get into those hips a little more and slow it down a little bit more. You can stay here if you have a little more room. You start to come down to the forearms. I'm just going to breathe here. Inhale, come onto the hands. We're going to transition to pigeon. So take that right foot, shimmy it over to the left. You're going to drop this right shin down. Okay. So that right knee is to the right side of the mat, and that left foot is close to the hip so that we can get into position and stay in position. Okay. You can drop those forearms down, type of roll towards the front of the left thigh. Just a couple rounds of breath here. All right, inhale, brings you up. Okay. Keep this right leg as it is. You're just going to roll towards the outer edge of your right hip. You're going to take your left knee and bring it forward, but keep that left heel behind you. Okay, from in towards the hip. Knees are at about 10 and 2. Your torso is facing 12 o'clock. Okay, going to drop this left hip down. Inhale, sit up. Hands go behind you, and then on the exhale, let's start to lean back. We're going to get a nice big stretch through the front of the left thigh. Now, if you come to the forearms and you have a little bit more space, feel free to drop all the way down onto your back. And then if you have even more space, you can reach that left arm up and over your head. Get a little bit more length through that left side. Bring that left arm down. Just shake out the leg, make some circles. Let's get some movement for that hip. All right, set your feet back to the hips distance, downward facing dog. We're going to flow through what's called that vinyasa. So inhale forward to plank. Exhale lower. Inhale cobra up dog. Exhale down dog. All right, let's go start the other side, beginning with the wild thing position. So inhale, left leg lifts. Bend your left knee, open your hip. You're going to drop your left foot to the floor, straighten out your right leg. And then on your inhale, you're going to press your hips up as you reach your left arm over. press into that right palm. All right. Inhale to come back to. Again, you can stay here, or if you have a little bit more space, let's drop down onto the forearms. Inhale. Let's come back onto the hands. You're going to take this left foot and shinny it over to the right for pigeon. So let's drop that shin down. Scoot your right leg back. And then with your right, let's come down onto the forearms. Keep rolling towards the front of your right hip. All right, inhale, come onto the hands. And then you're going to swing this right knee forward. Keep the right heel close to your right hip. Okay, so knees are pointing 10 and 2. And take your right hip and try to drop it down a little bit more towards the floor. Inhale, sit up. Hands go behind you. And then exhale, let's lean back. One side might feel a little different than the other, so just make note of that. And then if you want to go all the way to the floor and you have the space, once you get there, try to reach your right arm overhead. Find a little bit more length to the right side. Let's go ahead and bring your right arm down. Next inhale, start to make your way back to a seated position. Let's bring the hands to the top of the mat. We're going to go back to downward facing dog. And the same thing as first side, you can lift that left leg, you can shake down. All right, let's meet in downward facing dog. Last vinyasa. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's bring the knees to the floor, swing your feet around. We're going to come into a final kind of lat stretch here. So keep your left leg straight. You're going to bring your right foot to the inner left thigh. Now from here, right now my knees are pointed at 10 and 2. I want you to take this right leg and try to open up a little bit more so that we've got a wider gap between the knees. Okay, because we're going to fold to the side here. As your torso is facing kind of away from that left leg. Inhale, we're targeting those lats, but also we're going to probably get into those obliques as well. Again, it's all connected, so sometimes tightness in one area is expressed in another area, but might not always be the origin. We're going to try to face kind of away from that right leg. Inhale, left arm up, get really long. And then exhale, lean over to the right. Try to ground the left hip down. Keep reaching. Inhale, brings you up. And then extend both legs out in front. Final stretch before we take just a couple breaths in stillness. So extending those legs out in front, toes face up towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms overhead. And then exhale, let's bow forward. So I want you to think about extending your chest forward, even if that prevents you from getting a little lower in the fold. Okay? So keep extending that chest, very similar to our shins. We're going to spend 5 breaths here. Final few moments of our practice. Hands anywhere that's comfortable. I want you to sit up tall, close the eyes. We're going to do 5 rounds of breath to 5 slow counts on both the inhale and exhale. Your goal is to make both sides of the breath even and smooth. Okay, so here we go, all together. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, 5, 4, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Good. Gently opening the eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, for getting on your mat, for breathing, for moving, all of the things. We're going to continue talking about lat mobility, flexibility, and strength, and biceps and triceps. So look out for that this week. If you ever have any questions, or if you'd like to chat one-on-one about your current mobility and flexibility, feel free to reach out, Stephanie at CrossFitHumanity.com. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.